Hello and welcome to Plate Stack Chat. It's been a while, but hopefully I still know how to do this. I go out, I find some great guests, I bring them on for a chat, we laugh, we learn, we change lives, or at the very least, we enjoy an hour of conversation. As always, before we begin, let's just thank Strivey for all the support they keep giving this show. So clearly they must be good people. You can go and check out their platform. So today we have a power couple on and off the grid, and off the grid again, I suppose. Now, they've had an incredibly interesting year, whether that's helping take the Breakers to their first playoff, whether that is opening their own gym, or having the privilege to meet me in person. Well, you decide which one was more exciting. It is the wonderful Josh and Shay Newell.
What is up, Jason?
Hello. Hi, guys. How are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, good. It's a little break here at the gym, so we're excited.
Well, let's jump on that straight away because I notice we've all dressed very appropriately for this. I of course am wearing my Breakers tie. That this was expensive. I had to fly all the way to Florida for Shay to give me this tie. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But I can't help but notice that you've both got some snazzy t-shirts on.
Yeah.
I see a little logo in the corner there.
Shay
what are we
dressed
wearing,
me,
guys?
So shout out to Thick Boy. These are actually from Thick Boy. He was so gracious to make not only us but our members some t-shirts as well with our logos on the front, and then there's a big one on the back too. So shout out to Thick Boy. We are huge fans of him.
I keep seeing his stuff.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
during the kind of final period leading up to the championship matches, and some of you guys were off doing, because you're all crazy, doing other events before doing the championship matches. I kept seeing people talking about Thick Boy. I kept seeing posts and stuff. I'm yet to experience the quality of the clothing myself, but hey,
Very good.
It's good, and he's just a good guy.
Yeah, he's just a good.
He came to our previous facility that we were at and did like a drop in, and
nice.
we got to talk to him and get to know him a lot, and just a all around good guy. So I mean that helps when obviously the clothes are great and I wear them regardless, but it definitely helps. So
yeah, and it's even better when it's got your logo on it.
The Breakers tie-dye shirts that we had on at the playoffs, he did those for us as well.
There you go.
So,
look at that.
Huge fan of Thick Boy, man. We love him.
Oh, look at it. Look at the chat showing love for Agreed. Good guy in product.
Heck yeah.
He's a great dude, cares about the fitness community.
He does.
Maybe I need to get him on the podcast. That's
you
what I'm
do.
Doing. And he's launched a new app,
an app,
Comp World. And so like you really should get him on and let him talk.
I really should get him on.
Okay, that would probably be good. So
all right. Well, I'm sorry we're gonna have to cut this show short, guys. I've got some calls to make.
Send him a link right now.
Hey, we'll give our spot up for him any day. Any day.
No. We can't do that shit. We can't do that. We can't do that. I finally got Josh not in the car. We need to have a chat.
Not
actually sat down and relax for a change. Right. We've got to talk about this. So I went to Florida, met you guys. Wonderful privilege that was for one of us. So I really enjoyed that. I got back home and I started seeing these messages, or not like messages, like posts and stories and stuff. And I was like, did I miss something while I was there? What's going like Josh and Shay are upset about something. I'm pretty sure it's not something I did. I don't think it was anything. And I was like, I was at the championship match. I didn't see anything like weird happen. What's going on? Why are they suddenly like they're, because when you're reading like half, it was when you get half a phone call, right? So I'm like just hearing one person's side of it. And I couldn't quite work out what was going on, but clearly something had happened and you guys weren't happy. And you were more talking, I think the messages I saw, the stories were things about people that were, messaging to see how you were and were like looking out for you guys and showing their support. And that's where I was like, oh no, what's happened? I did also watch you do a live where you addressed a number of these things, and I'm very conscious of the fact that there was talk of potentially, we don't know, there might be non-disclosure agreements, there might be this, there might be that. There's probably many things we can't say.
Mhm.
So even though I'm like, well, I'm in the UK, what are they? What are they going to do to me?
Yeah.
I realize you're not over here in the UK, so
No.
I don't want to push and get you to say anything that you
Oh, no.
can't say. But for people that don't know, like we're talking about Off the Grid. We're excited you've opened. How long ago did you open the facility? It's pretty recent.
October 6th.
October 6th, yeah.
So
Incredibly
we're about 3
recent.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very fresh.
Yeah.
Which is exciting and is good, and
Right.
we'll get to that. But it is sort of born of tragedy.
It is.
In a way.
To a degree. Yeah. So of what you can tell us, what happened, guys?
You want me to go?
I can do it.
Yeah, we'll let you go.
So at the championship match, we weren't able to tell anyone what was going on, but we had started the process of not willfully, but being removed from our previous gym. We couldn't really discuss it, couldn't really talk about it, and nor did we want to at that point, because we were at the championships, or we were at the playoffs, and we wanted to just really focus on grid. But we were both struggling really bad during that time, and yeah, so it started around that time, and we couldn't really say anything because we were in the back and forth during that phase. So we didn't really talk much about it, but we were going through it. We were in the trenches at that point.
Yeah.
We did not want to leave that space.
Yeah, and at that point we were still trying to find a way to
stay.
remain in some capacity as part of that gym. Because I promise you, as quickly as we've started this, and that's just because we continue to move at grid speed no matter what.
Yeah.
We did not plan this out. This was not in the works. We just did this because this is our life and we had to. We were still, while we were in Kissimmee, we were still fully committed to trying to find a way to still remain in some capacity at that gym. So we genuinely couldn't speak about it.
Yeah.
Up until the moment we made the live post, where we were like, we have fought hard for this and it's just not working, and we need to start taking the steps to move forward. And so that's when we decided to start off the grid. And so that was it.
So you were like partial owners as well, right? If
yeah, very minority.
Very minority.
Yeah, we were like under 10% ownership.
Okay.
We were just over 90%. Like, we were in the gym, we were coaching, we were there, 7, 8 hours a day most days. Very similar to what you would be if you were like ownership full time. So I'd say we spent just as much time there as we do here. So just we just didn't have as much ownership of the actual space and the actual name and everything. So that didn't give us the amount of power necessary to like maintain our role, even if we wanted to. So like we kind of had to. We didn't have to bend the knee, but it was just such a weight that we had to move on or continue to be kind of crushed by it. And it was just for our own personal health. We didn't see a way that made sense moving forward there. And it was one of the hardest things. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been something and it's still I still wake up some days and I'm still feel like kind of, you can feel equally traumatized by something and equally excited about the potential of something new and great. And that's kind of where we are, where it's like, it's never gonna not be tough. But like every day, the excitement here gets more and more, and it's easier to look more and more forward to like what we can do here, while knowing in the back of our mind that like everything we did there still stands. It's not like we leave that place and the people that are there just fall off the face of the earth and lose their ability to do fitness. Every bit of impact we had there still remains, and those people are still going to be better off, in our opinion, because we were there for whatever time we were, and we hope they continue to grow.
We were there at that other gym. We were there from day one. Like we were there before it was even built, helping make decisions, everything. It was told to us before that place ever even became a thing that we were supposed to take over and be full owners. And that's why they wanted to bring us in and help build it from the start. And that's why we were so shocked and so confused when all of this happened out of nowhere.
Okay. Yeah, it is tough. And I suppose, yeah, I don't know. It may be partially a blessing that you were such a minority owner because,
Right.
Well, yeah, it's
Right.
as you said, if you'd had more power, like, okay, I can fight and stay here,
Right.
but that's also not
I
great.
don't
Do you
think
know
it
what I
would have
mean?
worked out well in the end. Yeah,
No.
we've come to the terms now where it's like I think this will eventually be the absolute best thing for us and for probably everyone involved. It's just that like it's such a painful way to do it
Yeah.
when it's so sudden. It's not. I mean, like if we were moving to Florida, for instance, and we knew that 6 months out, this would have been a completely different experience. You know, you would plan ahead, you would get ready, you would have your place booked out there, you would have all these things set up in your life where you could easily make that transition. But to go from you know, for us, it was extremely difficult because I was in between jobs. I'm a travel nurse and
Mm.
I was in between jobs for about 4 weeks. Shay's income was the gym. So we lost that too. So we had about a month with zero income. um, Meanwhile, you know, trying to like put this place together. So it was extremely stressful for that reason too. So there's just a lot of things that when you're not prepared like that, it was just very tough on us. But you know, like we've come out the other side of it, and like we're guns blazing, and that adversity will just make us like that much stronger in the end. So
Yeah. Good. Excellent. Yeah, and I know that you weren't you know, as you said, this I was shocked when I saw like you post the, you know, the keys to the facility and opening the door and that, because I think we'd been chatting
We were
a
shocked
week
too.
before or something and talking about, you know, like online coaching
yeah,
or is there any way you can coach at your house, or like what
Mhm.
options are open to you? I think Shay, you were talking, you put out a thing about like recommend some gyms so I could do some drop-ins because I'm gonna
Yeah.
go and do a big tour of all the different
Yeah.
CrossFit boxes nearby, and you
I
claimed this
did,
was
and
too far.
that was so fun. I loved that.
Yeah, and so now, you know, it's amazing how quickly it's all come together,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then it, but beyond even just setting up a facility, because I guess, you know, like it amazes us sometimes. They build a lot of like student accommodation recently in Bath where I live, and
Mhm.
you know sometimes it amazes you how quickly these like buildings go up, and you're just like, man, that
Mhm.
was a part of rubble. Now it's a building, so you know that you can assemble things quickly, right?
Mhm.
But I'm looking at the posts coming from your gym, and it's like, we've got this coming up, and then this weekend we've got this, and then this weekend we've got that. And I'm like, well, they've already got a community, they've already got events going on. I mean, you
It's
don't slow down, do you? Hold on, we've
well,
just got to
it's the same
just got
thing we
to
were gonna do at a
just got to
different end. You know, like
bend the knee to your boss. He's just in there for a second.
I mean, we're just doing the same thing we would have done no matter where we are. So,
Mhm.
like, if we
Yeah,
were still at the other facility, we already had all these things that, like, I'm a constant throw things on the wall and see if they stick idea
Yeah.
guy. She probably gets annoyed by it, but I'm like, what if we did this? Would this be cool? Would that be cool? And I have about, you know, 70% bad ideas, I'm sure, but like,
But
up to
every now and then, a good one will get
yeah.
thrown out,
Of
and
the
we'll run
30 that
with
yeah,
it.
stick, I'm like, you know, I'm just throwing things on a wall like nonstop, you know. And
yeah.
so like you know, we would have done that over there. We would have been doing the same thing there. Like we would have been talking about you know, what kind of competitions we might want to do, what kind of events we might want to do, what kind of charity things we could do, how we could reach the community. And we're going to do a grid community day, and we can talk about that later. But like we're going to do that in December. Like we would like to do something every month, and we don't want to behold ourselves to that, but like we just feel like we could do stuff like that. Like it's
Mhm.
good to do that. So
It's important. Things like that are important to us because fitness is important to us. It's what we do. And so, like he said, I mean, we were going to do this
yeah.
wherever we were.
Yeah,
So well, it wasn't that hard to like be like, well, we'll
Yeah.
just do it here. Like
yeah,
like I don't. So
yeah. I guess it's not hard to do it. Although I've just got to be, because he might log off. Uh, Matt Hornaday, if you're listening still, shoot me a message. We've got to get you on the show. We've got to talk about next season. Just putting it out there now. I guess I mean, it's like starting a podcast, right? Literally
Mhm.
anyone, even now, just on your phone, you can start a podcast. You can talk about whatever
Mhm.
you want. That doesn't guarantee anybody's going to listen. Doesn't guarantee
Right.
anybody's going
Right.
to agree to be a guest on your show. Like, it's not just because you can, feasibly put something together doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be success. So it's interesting that, you've got these ideas, you're throwing these things together, and then people are saying, yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to get involved. We're going to come to your facility. We're going to, what is it, this weekend you've got Barbells for Boobs? Is that this Saturday? Yeah. So like, you're already running, but also people are getting behind it. That's what we need.
I think the key to that is just that you have to be okay with, even if it's one person, that's still your community. So like, you have to be okay with that. Like, if you're going to do something, if we had one member for the month of October, which we have far more now, but like, even if it was for one person, you have to be okay with putting all the same amount of effort in for that one person. And then that's the key to like getting more and more people involved, is like the people see that. Like, if you have two people in a class and you still pour that effort into them, those two people are going to go tell people that you did that anyways. And that, so like, even if it's just for one person in the community, we've just always felt that way. Like, we will still reach out for that one, because if it's only one person coming and they're coming by themselves, they obviously need it. Like, that they are probably the one who needs it the most, if they're still willing to reach out for that. So like, you just have to be okay with that. And like, it's a tough thing, because you come from, like, maybe you come from a facility where you'd have 30 people at an event, and you're like, do you feel kind of that sense of like, oh my God, am I a failure? And it's like, well, you're not a failure to like that one or two people that are there. So like, you just have to be that way. And that if you're genuine, it helps. Like, that's all I'll say.
But I also think, looking at it from the other side, like I mean, CrossFit Bath here has been running for many, many years. It's one of the longest running affiliates in the UK, and now classes are pretty full all the time. But I was training at 8 p.m. like was my kind of regular slot, which is already one of the quieter classes, even now with like the peak membership. Don't give me that look.
8 p.m.
10 p.m. Yeah, that's the right time. That's when I finally warmed up.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to go to bed at 8 p.m.
But a couple of times I've been there, and there's been, and this was a few years ago, but there'd be maybe like 2 of us at 8 p.m. And I mean, it was amazing. It was like, I've got like almost like a personal coach now.
Yeah,
this is great. And they were some of the best, some of the best classes.
Yeah.
But we complain now that the classes are too full at 8 p.m. The only benefit is that the 8 p.m. class always has to, because it's the last class of the day. Like, if we've had a load of cardio machines out for all the classes, we're the ones that have to put them away.
You gotta
there's only 2 of you.
Exactly. So we're happy for there to be a few more.
Yeah.
It's just bonus accessory work.
Yeah.
So,
Corey's got his opinions here. If I only had one client, they would either be fit AF or hate me deeply.
Yeah, that's right.
Possibly both.
And probably both. Yeah.
And we've got Haley Booker. Hi, besties. I'm assuming she's talking to you guys and not me.
What's up, Haley?
Yes.
But I'll
No,
also
she's
say,
talking to you, Jason.
she's talking to me. I'm surprised she's not saying, why am I not on the show? Is probably what she's saying. Scheduling. This also, just in case anyone is listening, who I've been saying, let's get on the show, and we've been trying to work out, schedules. When did we speak, Shay? Yesterday? Was it?
Yeah.
Or Wednesday?
2 days ago, maybe. Wednesday.
Yeah. It was very, let's get on the show. When can we do it? What about Friday? Great.
Jason said, say when. I said, Friday? ?
Friday's a good
I had to take advantage of Joshua being off, so.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, he's never off though, is he? He's still that brain is still churning out ideas. We know that's the case. So the choice to go with off the grid fitness, was that, well, what was the choice for that with that name? Because I think people put a lot of thought into their names. Obviously, you guys do grid as well, but then there's also the expression off the grid also has another meaning as well. So I'm just curious, what was the thought process that went into naming your gym?
It was kind of both. It was actually more Joshua's idea than it was mine.
It just kind of organically, like, we've used that name a couple times for our team name at competitions.
Right.
And while I was sitting around, I was like, wow. That's such a good double entendre for like you said, like we're bringing our training and our experience off the grid, Our gym is going to be a little bit more like rugged garage style because of the the format that we have and the building we have. And so it's like it's for the people who like want to come and not necessarily be like bougie boutique and praised. It's like you're going to come here and you're going to work hard, but like this isn't necessarily the place where we're going to like make a professional style real expose on you. Like we're going to celebrate your success, and like it's going to be hard work to get you there and sweat, and like it may be a little bit off of the normal type of training that you've been doing to get you there. And so like it's like a double entendre for sure of like, hey, this has multiple meanings. But it just for some reason we said it, we both looked at each other and we were like,
that's it.
I think that's it. Like that just we wanted something that would let everyone know that it was us.
It was us. Yeah.
Because like we felt like there would be a tough time period of differentiating ourselves from the old facility.
Right.
Because even if you go to their Instagram now, there's reels of us. There's there's like all this. So somebody could wind up going to there looking for us still, and it's like we needed something that says like this is definitely where Josh and Shay are, because that's a name that everybody understands. And one of my buddies, I had been hashtagging everything OTG, and this is when I knew that the name was perfect, because one of my best friends had not shared what OTG was. We'd just been sharing OTG, hashtag OTG. And one of my buddies messaged me. He said, does that stand for off the grid? And I said, it does for sure now. I was like, it absolutely does. I was like, if you can decipher it from just the acronym, that's like a good sign of a good business, because then people can refer to you that way, and then they know the meaning, and it definitely made sense then. I'm like, if you knew it and I didn't tell you, you can tell that that's us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'd be funny if somebody else had sent you a message with a different.
No, yeah, then we'd have to change
some different free words before, and it's like, oh man,
like, oh, that's what it is. Like,
oh, does that mean on the gains? You're like,
yeah,
oh, no,
it does
not
now.
what it's meant to mean.
So, but and also we do want to eventually, like, this is, and we see this as a true starter facility location. So like this is where we can get our bones and foundation laid, and like eventually we do want to build the first grid satellite facility. So like we want to build the first official, like this is the place where grid leaguers train. So like we want to have a facility that's big enough and equipped to do exactly that, and like eventually that will come. And so like whether that is in addition to this space, and this space remains like a functional fitness space, and or maybe that's all in one building. But like, I don't know exactly if that will be in Muscle Shoals or if that will be like something we expand to a different place. But like, we want to be a place where the league could host Grid Sixes, possibly host an event, tell people if they want to play the sport that they can come train at it. So, because we have gyms that you can train at, and you have training programs you can do. But, if you want a yoke and 150-pound blue D-ball, and the exact setup of the Valor rig and like all that stuff that's important if you're actually a professional athlete, you'd love to train all the equipment you're going to have in your sport. So like we would love to have that be something that we could look to do in the future. So
it sounds to me like, and I mean, Matt Holiday saying if it's in Florida, I'm not mad at it. Hey, if someone's going to be able to find you some property in Florida to develop, surely it's
he can help with that.
Himself, right? There you go. That's all he's got to do is say, I found the perfect facility, and then just convince you to get it. It sounds a bit like, to me, when you were describing that, saying, oh, maybe it's a different facility, and it's it's not this one, it's not known. It's like you want it to become the mayhem of grid. So people go to
Cookville. That privately, yes, yeah.
Cookville became like the mecca for CrossFitters.
And you never would have thought that Cookville could be that either.
No,
so like that doesn't mean that it can't be here. So,
but also people go to Cookville, right? And it's like they go to Rich's facility, they go to the Mayhem gym, this massive, beautiful gym. But if they're there and they're Rich's friend, or if they've had like a personal invite from Rich, they'll walk around the gym and have a look, but then they're off to the barn, and that's where the real training happens, right?
Yeah.
And I like the idea that, oh, you want to learn grid, you want to play grid, you want to come and here you go. This is the grid facility. Look, we've got the rig all set up. And then, Arthur turns up and you're like, oh, Arthur, come on, let's go to let's go to the real bit where we train, where, everything's a little bit broken down because we've just lifted so much weight all
And
the time.
just to say, like, what was it? Not this past season, but season before, when we were on the way home from Vegas, we were on a plane from Vegas going back home. And that was when the discussion of like revamping the breakers.
Oh yeah, okay.
We discussed like we're gonna revamp the breakers team. We're gonna build this new breaker squad. We're gonna totally rebrand it, and we're gonna go to the freaking championship, and we're gonna win the championships. We talked about that. We did that. We put that into Matt Hornaday's ear. Matt Hornaday helped us. We got together. We did that. We didn't make it to the championship this year. We got to the playoffs, and that was that's the biggest we've ever done with the Breakers franchise. So like this year coming home, we talked about building a grid mecca, and I'm just gonna say, like, if we talk about it, it usually happens. So
yeah, okay.
it's
Can you
gonna
talk
happen.
about getting me back to America then?
Yeah.
Figure that one
That
out.
would be
Yeah,
really
we're
useful.
gonna figure it out. Like me and Joshua, like as you said before, like we work at fast pace and we don't play around. So
Yeah.
it's gonna
It's when I
happen.
get a call from you guys, you go, oh yeah, we got a call from Matt today. He's found some property. I'm like, oh wow, amazing. You're going to build a facility there. Oh no.
Yeah.
He's found you an apartment. You're moving
Yeah,
you. Like,
yeah,
that's not.
you.
It's like, have you told my wife and kids? Well, we'll tell them now.
We'll tell them then. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll tell them on the plane.
Yeah.
Exciting. No, that's wow, that's great. Yeah, I hope that all comes together. I was thinking about, if I remember correctly, seeing again. I promise I don't just stalk your social media, but it's called research.
At least
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I remember last season some posts of everyone around over at your, like a load of the team at your place, kind of around the pool and just relaxing that. So the idea that, I mean, you've got somewhere when you want to do those in-person training days, like where are we all going to meet up? What are we going to do? Like, come on, like I realize it means people have to travel, so it's not going to be, every week we're training together, but it feels like that's the start, right? Is first of all, you've got somewhere where you're like, oh, I know the gym owners, they'll be absolutely fine. They won't mind. We can use it anytime we want. Oh, really?
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Let's talk a little bit of grid then.
Right.
Unless there's anything I've missed from the new gym. I mean, it's open. You're running events.
Yeah, and we're super thankful for everybody in the grid community that's helped us push all that
Talk
out.
about moving fast.
I can't.
I already got a place.
Matt
says, I already got a place for them, but I don't know. Building this out in Bahama is not a bad idea either. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All right. It sounds like you've got a call after this call.
Yep.
Yeah, we still got to do our exit interview. So I think we'll do it like May 23rd. So
yeah.
For the
speaking of the breakers then, and obviously, let's pretend that's not in the chat, so he's not knowing in case you're revealing any secrets that you're not supposed to. I've been seeing across other teams quite a lot of posts about player signings, player re-signings, and I feel like, has the window opened now for transfers then? Because I feel like I've seen somebody move team as well.
I think so.
Yeah.
So, what news do you bring me in regards to the breakers?
The breakers have been very, very quiet on social media.
I've noticed this is the problem
with our signees and our stuff.
Yeah,
so.
We've been working hard to re-sign our players that we had from last year, of course, because we just felt like we had such good chemistry and talent. So we obviously have some targets that we would like to acquire. Maybe not specific people, but like specific skill sets.
Got you.
Like it's like, hey, like this is a thing that we think would make us better. Something that I don't want to say missing, but like maybe it's like, hey, like, because I didn't think we were missing anything last year. We we had some places where it's like if more depth. Like it's like if somebody could do this, then that would free up somebody else to do this other thing they're good at. So there may be some places where it's like if we could push the depth a little bit in certain movement patterns, then we would definitely do it, I think. So and then it's just asking the people that we have that are so talented to like kind of look at different ways they could impact the team. So like we have some people who I think that are they're like primed to expand their role and or change their role. So it's like, hey, like we can get this out of this person who didn't really do that last year, but like definitely has the capability. So like all of that out of the players we have, and then hopefully we do make some additions that will help us out. So
yeah, Josh is coming back as a bodyweight specialist.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, we've seen him doing the LSIT. Was it like the med ball rope climbs? You know,
I can do anything.
I mean, he was walking on his hands earlier today, so
that's the first time I've been on my hands in a very long time. So I've made a commitment to myself. I was very passive last year, I will say, as far as like aggressiveness and like playing time and things like that. I'm definitely like that. Like when I played basketball my whole life, I'm like, I'm gonna have a double, but it's gonna be assists and rebounds. Like I'm not gonna score any. Like I'm gonna I love being a team player and I want to see other people do the stuff. But I did feel like there were moments where it's like, hey, if you had asserted yourself in training and not just let someone else do it because you knew they could, you might have been an asset to the team in that place. And so this year, I do feel like I'm going to push myself in training a little bit in the off season and see where the chips fall. And, you know, and my hope is that like there's still someone better than me at everything and I don't have to do it because that's only a good thing, right? It's like, but I'm going to not take it for granted and just be like, oh, yeah, we definitely already have someone who's going to do that skill. I need not worry about it. If it's something that I feel like I can contribute on, I'm going to push a little harder to do it this year. And depending on who we re-sign, who decides that, you know, they need time off or things like that, or how many matches they can play, that might come in handy, I hope. So it's like, hey, I can do it this match. I don't have to do it all year type thing. And that may allow somebody that doesn't think they can play all season. It's like, hey, we can get by, like, and we can make that work. So, but that's me. I know we also, like I said, we've got some players who, like, I've talked to Shay about things that I expect that, like, I'm like, here's what I want you to be able to do next year. Like, here's, you know, I've loosely spoken with some of the other players on the team about like what I think they could bring to the table. I don't know if we're quite to the point in like off season yet where everybody's like ready to go start training. So I feel like as that goes closer, we'll have a lot more people being like, hey, what can I work on? What can I get better at? And so like we'll definitely be doing that for sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm intrigued because the only player that I spoke to in the Breakers that I think told me that probably they won't be back on the grid next season just in general because of stuff going on in life, I would be interested to see you fill that role because that is I don't think your skill set. So
gosh.
Yeah. I think we talked about it on the show.
Now you've got me intrigued. So
yeah. Well, okay. Well, I don't want to say in case it's not, in case things have changed. So I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you.
Well, anybody, I'm about to say anybody who has said they're like not sure, we're still working hard to re-sign them. That's what I'll say. So like, I don't want to like anybody who's made that. I don't want to make it like known if they're like in or out. We definitely do have some people who are having to make some tough life decisions because like I said, they don't have the time to commit to the sport. And like, that is totally fair. There were moments in this like traumatic period that we've been through where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that next year because of how much we're having to commit to this. But like, you know, we're going to find a way. But like,
you're like, oh, maybe we won't be able. So we're in a position where maybe we won't be able to continue playing grid next season, or we're building grid mecca. We're not sure which of the two it is. We're either out of grid or we are so all in on grid.
We're building the mecca for it.
I signed my LOI like before Matt even released them. Like it was like, you know, we're ready to go.
you made your own. Like, I'll write my own and I'll send it.
I sent him the one. I was like, "Does this look good to you? Has this got my name on it?"
Here's a template. It's interesting that what you were saying before, because speaking with a lot of coaches on the grid, they've often there's this sentiment of kind of, I was speaking with someone like Briley, who obviously, like, Hannah's a very good friend, and you've got friends on the team, people you go, but you're also, the fastest person is the fastest person. It's just a fact, and so you can't let emotion cloud kind of who's doing something. You just need to use the fastest person or the best person or the strongest person, whatever it may be. Well, even all of those things equate to being the fastest, don't they? So it's interesting to kind of hear it from a different point of view, where you're like, we always should use the fastest person. And at the moment, this person is faster than me. But why are they faster than me? Is it they're faster than me because we both train as hard as we can and they are better, they are faster? Or is it, I just don't bother doing that thing as much as they do, so they're faster than me, but actually, if I really tried, I should be faster than them at doing that thing.
Right.
It's kind of it's sort of a weird way of looking at it from a player's perspective of being like, well, we've got this person and they're fast at doing it. That and do I stop there, or do I go, actually, I could
the
go
best
faster.
teams, I feel like, look at it this way, and it's not like in a negative or bad light, but my competition until we step on the match to play the other team is my own teammate, with my like similar assignment. Like, I need to either be trying to get faster than that person or putting the heat on them to make them as fast as they can be. So like, me and JoJo played very similar roles last year for our team. And so like, my goal was, no matter what, whether I'm doing it or whether he's doing it, I still need to be working very hard on the same thing that he's doing, so that it, like, because like the chances are, I mean, I'm not an arrogant guy, but I'm like, the closest person to your speed is going to be somebody like me. So like, no matter what, if I'm putting videos in the chat of like me doing 3 cleans at 3:15, as long as you're faster than me, you're probably going to beat just about anybody else. So like, and if I wind up faster than you, then we need to think about that decision. So like, it's always just the like, if I can continue to put that data out there of like, hey, this is what fast looks like on this movement, then that only helps our team. It just pushes everybody, and so like, and it helps me too, because I have to play those little games to like keep myself training. Like, I have to do that. So.
Yeah, it keeps you, and there's also the fact, as you're saying, about more depth to the team, that it might be, you've used JoJo as examples, so we'll keep JoJo. It's like, you might be like, well, JoJo is faster than me at this movement on any day of the week. The only day he's not faster than me at this movement is the day he's done 2 other races before getting to this movement, and he's now also fatigued, whereas I would come in fresh, and therefore it makes more sense for me to do it, because in those circumstances, I'll be faster.
Right.
And that's where the more depth comes in, right? You have those abilities of being like, oh, this person, they're the fastest on the rings and they're the fastest on, I don't know, the backflip.
And maybe not even faster.
By the time they get to that one, somebody else is going to be faster, because it's it's one of the last races of the day, and so they'll have done a lot of work and now they're tired, but we can put someone fresher in and they'll be faster in that circumstance.
Right. And it didn't even be faster. Like, we'll just sometimes, last year we met a couple of times, me and JoJo split the day so that we would get the same speed all the way across. It's like, well, you don't even have to be faster than that person. It's just like, we know if you're fresh, you'll both give us, you'll know you're done at the halfway point, and you can give us max intensity, and we'll get the same player out of like 2 people make 1 person, basically.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll get the exact same times out of that. So like, we did that a lot with a lot of players last year. We split, I think Shay and Haley tag teamed in and out most of the days. Like, we kind of had like a buddy system going where it was like, hey, like at ladder, we're going to make this adjustment. And like, you're a back half or a front half type of player. So like, it definitely works that way. But like, I'm in that mode now where I'm like, which way do I want to kind of lean? Do I want to go heavy on the strength side, or do I want to get more into like the building some quickness? And then Shay's like, I've encouraged her to keep getting stronger. And so it's like, we need you on the front half of the day to like crush mirrors and crush ladders. And so like, it's going to be, we definitely need to like tighten up everything, because we got beat last year by the smallest of margins twice. And so like it's one of those things where it's like if we can go back and hammer out the very small details, I just think that like we're just as good as anybody. And then it just comes down to execution that day. So even if we don't make any additions at all, I still think we're just. I think last year there were 4 teams that I felt like if you stacked us up and swapped us around and switched all the players and did like a draft, you'd wind up the same. Like you get the same result. Like it was very, very evenly based amongst those 4 teams. So,
yeah, I mean, I found it fascinating that you brought on players from the Venom that were the only team you'd ever beaten, and somehow that made your team better. Like that, which on paper does not make sense. You're like, well, let's go out to the team that the only people we can beat. We'll bring them on, and suddenly we'll be better.
Well, there's talent on every team, though. That's the key. Like, there's so much talent in this league. It's just if you don't have the depth. So, like, if you got 4 or 5 really good players on the Breakers and the Venom, that just only takes you so far. You get tired halfway at the back of the match, and
using and abusing those 5 people, and they can't give their full best effort the entire day if they're just getting used and abused.
Yeah.
So, and that's why to this day I still say like Vita was her best she's ever been this year, because she actually got to go at full speed because she wasn't having to be used in every single race.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And do you know, I didn't even know about there was another coach of the Venoms until recently. Like I wasn't aware that was a thing, and that a lot of stuff had been years ago because of that. But I promised anytime I talk about the Venoms, I should maybe mention that, because I think other people don't know, and quite often I think somebody else is seen to have been causing problems that maybe wasn't the case. So just in case you listen to this, don't worry. Sending that out there. Okay. I'm interested by this as well, because we've talked a bit again off the pod. It's almost like we actually, enjoy talking to each other when there's not a camera on as well. But well, one, I know that you have an incredibly analytical mind, Shay, and then
Numbers
well, you
girl.
do as well. Your numbers girl. I know it. And then I know that you very kindly share that information with Josh, and then he packages it up and presents it as his own, which is what I've understood to be the case.
It's me behind the grid stats page, actually.
Yes, that's why I've always assumed that. That's been my, look at this guy. He's just a big, strong kind of, ooh guy, isn't he? There's no, he's like Herman Monster. Oh, sorry. First year, Vida didn't have to get abused by every MVP quality season. Oh, okay. There we go. What was I going to say? All right. So you're all signing letters of intent these days. I've seen, across the board teams signing players. I'm curious how much information there is out there about the new season, because I feel like for people to agree and sign up and commit to something, there needs to be a degree of knowledge about what you're committing to. Is there stuff known about next season? Because I remember
there's not a lot of info going out.
Not enough. The problem with that is, and Matt has explained this very well. He could tell you even more than we could, but this is a small group of people that run this league, and they have lives too, and they need like a little bit of a break from getting the season done, getting the season started, and like it's no small task to like organize these events. And so like I get that the logistical stuff on that is so hard, but I also understand from the individual's perspectives of signing, like how can I sign up for something when I don't know what the schedule looks like? It's the most important thing you could know is like what dates I'm going to be asked to be to be available, which is why I've continued to say like, and we spoke about it a little bit off air, but like it would be so nice if they could get, if they're going to do 4 matches, 2 double headers. If you're going to do 3 events, 3 double headers to get 5 matches in, something like that. That way, even if people were like, well, I can only make 1 event, then they're still going to get 2 matches. Because right now you've got people like, I know I listened to Lori's podcast with you, and even you, who are like, I can only make the double header so I can get my money's worth for my trip. She's flying from Dubai. It makes so much sense for her to come for a doubleheader. Well, what if there was more than one doubleheader to choose from?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, well, like I can go ahead and sign because like I've got 3 options that I could make a 2 match, or like, oh, if I made, 1 match that's a doubleheader and I came back for playoffs, that's only twice I have to travel, but I get to play 4 matches. That's a full season for most people. And like I wish there was a way we could logistically work that out and get that out a little sooner. It's over my pay grade. I don't, they have to manage all that, but like I'm just an idea. I just throw things on the wall, man. So I'm like,
we've noticed.
why couldn't we do it?
Yeah, you're just like, Mava, here's my wall. Have a look.
Yeah,
if there's anything you like stuck to that wall, you can have it.
It's the grid stats page profile picture. I was like, I'm the guy with the post-it notes everywhere
and the lines and the strings.
Like, I'm like, why can't we do it? Why isn't it possible? I'm like, we could do it. And then, but I realize that there's so much logistical stuff that goes into that. But I still firmly believe, and I've yet to speak to a player that doesn't agree, that would be the way to advance this league and get more players to commit to it. Because, like, there's an event in Nashville, Tennessee, June 5th and 6th, a big expo. And I'm like, I will guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, in the CrossFit mecca that is Nashville, you will get at least 1 to 2 to 3 high-level CrossFitters that would sign up to play just to come to that doubleheader and play 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it would be, I mean, there's no way you wouldn't get at least a handful of those. Or if people need to sign a 1-day sign, they could probably find one pretty easily. Yeah. But I mean, like, that's an event that would easily make a doubleheader.
And it would get a lot of spectators as well. Like, so many spectators.
This is this is the thing. Well, I think I remember last season, like the following set of matches, seeing people in the chat that were like, oh, I'm here because like Daniel Brandon was on last time.
Yeah.
And so they'd come back again.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even, oh, I tuned in to see her. It was sort of, I tuned in to see her and then I've come back. And it's that retention thing, isn't it? You only need, if you get 100 people watching extra because of this person, and 10 of them stay, that's great, right? And then it happens again and it happens again. And absolutely.
And you should even get that, because people have such short attention spans. That's the beauty of the doubleheader too, because it's like, oh, well, come back tomorrow. We're going to do it again. Like, go tune in tomorrow. It's back. If you enjoyed this, you don't have to wait 3 weeks to see another one and forget about it. Like, you're going to see it again tomorrow. Just tune back in. We're going to run it all with different teams and different matchups and a different format. And like, when you do a doubleheader, that's what makes it so interesting. It's like, oh, like, here you go. And like, a lot of times you're going to get better quality that second day because everybody is like warmed up and fresh and everything. So,
and all the kinks have been worked out and stuff like that.
But I mean, like, there's a lot of benefit to it. I realize there's a lot of like difficulty too. So I can't sit around and just be like, oh yeah, definitely do it. It makes your life 100% better. Yeah. Like, there's definitely financial burden and things like that, and just manpower. So like, there's some unique solutions that I kind of have as an idea for that. I hope we can eventually get to a point where like we can find a balance for like the players financially, and the league, and there may be some sponsorship stuff that makes that even better. We hope. So,
I guess that all bleeds into it as well, doesn't it? Because it's a similar thing.
Yeah.
You do your doubleheader, you get more eyeballs on it. It gives you more power when you're speaking to sponsors about, hey, we've got this, or we've got this event, we've got this player playing, they've got, X number of followers on social media, they're going to be in this location, which means there's going to be probably this many people, foot traffic going by. So if you had a booth or a stand or a this or a that, so again, you say it's above your pay grade. It is so far above my pay grade, I cannot even see it. It's like, it's all the way over there. I just get to sit back here in the comfort of my own home and criticize. But I am curious, because I remember at the end of the season hearing rumors that who knows where they came from, about things like, oh, but potentially the season is starting earlier next season and stuff like that. And now you're kind of, teams are signing up, players are signing up, the stuff is happening. when is the season beginning? Could I just pick up my phone and send a message to Maverick? Of course I could. Have I done that? No. Should I? Probably. So that's another call to make after this. But I'm curious about that. And I'm still, and I sound like a broken record, and I say this every single time I have people from Grid on the show. We have an odd number of teams. There's an odd number of teams, so that doesn't work. That's just messing with my math. So
and the clock's ticking.
The clock is ticking.
Yeah.
I guess I can say it.
But yeah, go whatever you're saying. I'm hoping.
There's
It's all right. It's only live.
there's rumors that there's a 10th team out there, but we don't know what it is, who it is, what it is.
The last rumor that I heard, the person that was going to be owning that team, they've already signed to another team. So
so that's
I guess that's out the window. So I don't know if I trust my information anymore.
Yeah.
So my leak is not
not credible.
So
I cannot share the rumor I heard, but man, it was a crazy, like, this potentially could happen, and it was so not what anyone was thinking that I was at a dinner when this was being discussed, and the person felt free to say to somebody who's like working, within the Grid team, you will literally never guess. And they just sat there and took, 50 guesses and did not get anywhere close. And then they went off. And then once they went off, I was very much in confidence told, well, potentially it could be this. And I was like, wow. But I've heard nothing since then. And that was a while ago now. So I don't believe it's happening. So I'm so curious to know.
So are we, man.
So I will say they do not have to have a 10th team. It just makes the scheduling very, very odd. And it's going to make the logistics of that very difficult, which 10 teams will as well, because you can't run 5 matches per day. No. So that's not going to work out either. You're going to start at 6 a.m. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So
somebody,
Shay's that's not going to work for me.
I was about to say you can, but you're going to have people that are going to be very angry.
The equipment crew in that match 5 is going to be so worn out.
It's worn out.
The referees.
The only person that is happy is me, because I'm like, oh, great. It's better for my time zone. So let's start earlier. If we can finish earlier too, that's much better for my sleep schedule.
I mean, I guess you could do 9. I don't know that is what the league wants. The league obviously wants expansion. They want more teams. It's just a matter, man. I've said this for a while, and I'll say it here too. I think that last year showed we had a tough time fielding enough talent for 8 teams.
Yeah.
And that is the difficult part of saying you want to add 2 more. Because you had people making one-day signs left and right just to fill their rosters. And I'm like, okay, well, what makes you think that 2 more teams are going to bring quality to the environment? That's the tough part. Is you don't want to do this and then have multiple people failing sprint relays on both sides of the rig, and people watching your sport online and saying these are supposed to be professional athletes.
Yeah,
because there may be 10 people in the freaking United States that can do a back up rise forward roll. It's not that many people that can do that. And so every team's got to have one. Well, the problem is you've got teams with 3. Yeah. So here's what I'll also say. You're going to have to either start limiting the number of people you can sign per position.
Oh, here he goes.
You're going to have to limit the number of people you can sign per roster. You can't have 20 people on a roster and 2 people sitting as reserves. We had a lot of talent last year. We had at least 2 people sitting that could have been starters on other teams most matches. It weakens the talent pool across the league when people like, us, the Brigade, the Sharks, all have 2 people sitting out and not playing at all. It's not fun for those people. Yeah. And I get it for injury purposes, but you've got other teams with 5 females trying to play a match.
Yeah.
And, we've got 9 and, an extra one that's not even just in street clothes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's something the league should probably think about, is shortening the roster down so that people can't hoard people on the back end. It would go a long way towards competitive balance, in my opinion.
I don't know, there may be another reason they do that, but I've always thought that was. I've been on both sides of it now, I guess I'll say.
Yeah.
Like we were on the Breakers side where it's like, oh, we
could
have
barely fill a roster.
we have 5 guys and we need to sign someone that's in the area. And then like we've also been on the side now where it's like we have 10 guys and we have to tell 2 of them they can't play.
Yeah.
And like that's no fun. I hated that. Like that was the hardest roster decisions that like me and Matt and JoJo had to talk about. Where it's like, how do we tell somebody, nah, you're just not in the lineup at all today? Like I don't like that at all. So
yeah, it is a tough one. I mean, I'm interested to see what the Wolves are able to pull off because
they look pretty good.
Looking at but also they're not. We're talking of like the talent pool of Grid, and they very much are bringing people from outside in and saying like, we can see that you could be used in this area. We see that you can be used. So that which can work really well if it's done correctly and time will tell, right? We'll have to see it in action, but they've obviously like spent this season going to matches, looking at Grid, understanding how it works, following everything, then have access to athletes because of competitions that they run and things like that, and they're like, okay, we've I know that Sam had like already in his mind marked certain people that he'd come into contact with over the years of like, this would be a good person in Grid, this would be a good person in Grid, and then now we see them signing, which is wonderful. But then you also see people like Daniel Brandon, who is obviously a massive name within CrossFit and has competed at the CrossFit Games multiple times and done very well in events. But on the Grid, just one day on the Grid isn't enough to kind of learn how it works and do it, and so it's interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think that will be the sign of how easy is it to expand. Can you build a team, bring in lots of players from outside, but intentionally?
We're the only sport that does that. Most other sports, they do an expansion draft. So like they would be able to, like every team would protect a certain amount of their players. And then like that team would come in and be like, we'll take one from you, one from you, one from you, one from you. But in a sport like Grid where the players have so much power, the player could just be like, well, I'm not playing for you. So it doesn't matter.
I've been looking for an excuse to retire. Now
it's like, well, I'm out of you. But like, so like, like that would, like if we didn't mark, say me for protection, like the Wolves could just draft me. Like that would be like the way most sports do it. But you can't really, I don't think in our sport you can do that any more than you could like wipe the slate clean and have teams draft players. That's the way they did it back in the day and in the original Grid League. But I think that led to some like player discontentment too.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, you hear so much about how how we have to. It's a co-ed team, and the whole thing is this like team cohesion, and that we all work together, and we're all friends off the grid, and we can, that and like, oh, this team actually was made up of really great athletes, but they just couldn't get it together. They weren't, all in the same space. So it feels like part of the puzzle of making a Grid team is also managing personalities. And if you then have, if you have drafting and you have, just bringing players in that way, that just eliminates that kind of think of, or you might be a better athlete than this person, but you're going to be on the team and bringing down all the other athletes. So that doesn't make sense. So we don't want you. We want them. We can help them get a bit faster. We can't help you not, destroy the morale of another 5 people and then they all get slower. So that's, it's, I don't know. It'll be interesting, but I
think that was one of the biggest factors to our success this past season.
I hope the 10th team, if they're in there, already has a few names earmarked and ready to go. Like I'm like, it's hard. It's hard enough to build.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, man. That's gonna be tough to get it done that quickly. I know that like, Sophia had a lot of heads up. So like, yes, the Bandits were announced, sometime around this time last year.
Yeah.
Like that was not the first time she knew. Like, no. And she has a lot of connections to some experienced players. She was able to get a couple of players that have played Grid before to play on her team. And so like Era Medina was a really good player for them last year. Grid stats wise, I think he actually was their most impactful player. And that's not surprising considering he's played Grid.
He's played
Like,
Grid
it's
before.
not
Yeah.
like it's makes, like you said, it's not a surprise at all that people who have experience in the sport are gonna do a little bit better at the sport, like right off the bat. So, I mean, I'm sure the Wolves would love to just sign a couple of veterans. So I'm sure they're not like like they're
Yeah.
not. Sure, it's not for lack of trying, but like that's
Yeah.
that's always going to be tough for that new team. So, and if they're announced in January or something, I can't imagine it's going to be easier. Like,
Yeah.
No.
so they need to.
With people already have signed.
So whoever, if you're the 10th team potential owner, like let's get some commitment going. Or you
Speak up.
Yeah.
Tell us. We want to know.
Go ahead and sign the paperwork.
It's when I find an email that I got sent by Mava like 6 months ago offering me the team and I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I should have been building a team all this time. And
the UK team, Dan Ty.
The UK team. Yeah.
Sign him up right away.
he's moved up to Scotland now as well. So he's actually moved even further away from me. Yeah, I think I mean, it was already ironic that so we met in Florida. I'd never met him in person before. The weekend before we met in Florida, he was at an event in Bath, like 10 minutes from my house. But I was down in Devon, which is like another couple hours away from here. So there was no way we were going to see each other. So like I have to fly to Florida to meet someone who lives in the UK, which is crazy. But there you go. That's the beauty of Grid, right? That's the beauty of Grid. Yeah. We'll put the UK team together, and then we'll say, "Can we have a triple header? Because it's a long way for us to come."
We're just gonna play the whole season in the UK.
Whole season.
Say one weekend. Like
I'm down.
Do it like the strongman competition. We film the whole thing. We record it all in like 1 week.
Do it,
and then we just release it.
Yeah,
we just release it every couple of weeks. There's like, oh, this is the next set of matches, and
you know what? You're on to something. That might be the way to do it. Like we could we could record it and then like release it like a TV show.
Yes.
Like everybody has to be like sworn to secrecy about the outcome. Nobody gets to know who like actually won. No. We just have to like all get together for like 2 weeks. And, like,
that would never happen.
Oh, it would bring Mather's personal like
with the loud.
Oh, you could. That's what he wants.
With the loudmouths that we have in Grid,
no, this would be great. Like full on UFC Ultimate Fighter style. We go like 4 weeks.
Me being one of them. Like I don't think I could keep my mouth shut that long.
That you would be a star of the show. Like
you'll just. We just turn it into a reality TV show as well.
Exactly.
Like have all of that.
It really like it probably should be. I think it would get so much more traction if it were like that, to be honest with you.
Oh, it would for sure. Like it would.
I think.
For sure, but
so this time I was in like the Airbnb on my own, just a little Airbnb near the place. Next time, if somehow I get there, which is still very much an if, Josh and Shay haven't put it out into the universe yet, used their powers. But if it happens, I just need to stay with a team. I should just stay with a team and just embed myself. Like, okay, we're going to follow you through the training that you're doing like the day before, what's going on for team meetings in the evening, how are you possibly eating all of that food before you go out for a match? That's crazy, all of that. Then maybe a quick change, jump onto the live stream again, do that was fun, and then back to it, embedded with the team, following the team around.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, being within the Breakers team walls it's just an experience. So I'm not saying that you have to choose us for that, but like it would be a good choice.
I mean, I might just it might just be whichever team decides to finally add me to one of these mysterious group chats that they all have.
As soon as I see myself are deep. Let me tell you.
As soon as I find myself popping up in a group chat, I'm like, there we go. I'm in. And that's it. I'm locked in for the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
And I did get you a wave tie.
You bought me a tie. And I'm wearing it now. Any excuse to put it on, I do. So. Yeah, all right. It's like 5 years down the line when she's going, but don't forget, I bought you that tie. So actually,
don't forget.
You didn't know that was a bribe the whole time.
I didn't know.
You know about accepting that, like
when I'm like about to release my big story that kind of is gonna, turn the whole grid league on its head because I've got these secret things that have come out for. And then she's like, "Oh, you remember a few years ago I bought you that tie, so you got to squash that story. You can never." Oh no. Yeah. Okay. No. Surely I'm unbuyable. My reputation is sterling in all regards. Well, it's been fun, guys. I'm happy to have had a catch up. Also because
absolutely.
Also because this show sort of almost disappeared for 2 weeks, but it's back. I'm back, everybody. It's just been a busy period, and I should have more grid people coming on soon. Some clues. I maybe someone who's training to be a doctor, but also is incredibly strong. They might be coming on. There you go. See a few cryptic clues. And then outside of grid, I should be having a world record holder coming on soon, hopefully. And I feel like I was booking in another show, but I can't remember what it was. So, and that other show that I can't remember, but it's probably really, really good. So there's lots of stuff happening behind the scenes. I promise you, I haven't just been sitting on my hands. Oh, the other show should be potentially my partner for this event that I'm doing in February, who I've only exchanged a few messages with and not yet met or spoken to. So that will be fun. People get to watch us get to know each other live.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait. Like, is there gonna be like coverage of that competition?
No, I don't think so. Well, my wife might live stream it or something off my phone, or at least my bits.
Yes.
I mean, okay, we've got a
we
few minutes.
have
I'll
to
just
see
break
it.
So what happened is this, right? So the event I'm going to be. So the reason I've suddenly actually started going to the gym again. I've been going, but this year, if I got in twice a week, that was miraculous. I went off to Florida and I came back and just could not get back into the gym. Like, just my schedule, catching up on stuff I'd missed, trying to get back into like a rhythm. It was a nightmare. But again, I was kind of coming once or twice, and every time I come in, I was like, "That's it, guys, I'm back. I think I've sorted everything." And then the next week, just stuff would happen, and I was falling off again. I'd already said I was going to this event, so I've been to. So it's Wadaptive. It's a pairs competition. It's an adaptive athlete paired with an able-bodied athlete. I've been there many times doing media for them. It's a really, incredible event. The way they adapt the workouts for all of these different divisions. The thing that really got me about it was things like, as I go around the UK competition scene anyway, I see a lot of the same people. I saw people I'd never seen competing before. And I'm like, well, how come I've never seen you on the competition floor. What are you doing? It's like, oh, well, my wife's in a wheelchair. This is the only event we can ever do together. Wow. That's, so I don't really compete, but it's a chance for me to, there was, last time I was there was Henry Dunn, who is a adaptive CrossFit Games athlete. He's got one arm. He's there. His partner's his sister. Oh, we both love CrossFit, but we never get to do any competitions together. This is an opportunity for us to do one together. So it's, I think it's a great event. I've supported it for a long time.
Yeah.
I'd already said I was going in February to do media. So when they message me and say, if we give you a partner, will you compete? It's very hard to say no.
How do you say no to that?
When they, one, already know I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
And two, this guy wants to do it and he needs a partner. So it's like, okay. And then people are saying to me, well, don't worry too much. It's a bit of fun. Don't stress about it too much. Like, as we said, there's people that never compete and they're there. But I feel like, he's going to be giving his all, right? He's going to be selling it and he's in a wheelchair. I've got less excuses to not be training hard. I don't want to phone it in and he's really doing his best. And I'm like, oh, I just sort of shut up.
You got to hold up your end of the deal too.
So from the time I got invited, I was like, okay, no more alcohol. Like, not that I was a heavy drinker, but I would have a drink now and again. And now I'm like, I haven't drunk, had a drop since I said yes. So I'm like, okay, no more drinking. I've tidied up my diet a lot.
Look at you.
And today I went in for my 4th session of the week. That's 4 weeks in a row of hitting 4 sessions.
Look at you.
I'm even being smart about scaling and like protecting my shoulder and things like that. So, and the good thing is this event is in February, which means I might actually be in half decent shape for the Open for the first time in a number of years as well. So, not that will change much for me. Like, being in
Hey, you
half
never
decent.
know. You
I never know.
Jason, we'll compare open scores this year. We'll see, because you know how you always do that intro for people. I'm like, I'm glad he's never looked at mine. I was like, it would be so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't look at my open score either.
Like the 61,000th fittest man in North America East. So
I just had 2 years of like, I think 2 years ago before the Open, like shortly before the Open, I'd had an inner ear thing where I basically lost the balance mechanism in my ear. And I had to take a little bit of time off work. I couldn't drive. I basically couldn't walk it anywhere. The room was spinning, and it's never fully come back. I'm still like very sensitive to head rush, if you stand up too fast and stuff like that. But like going into the Open, I remember like doing a deadlift workout before the Open, and just the motion of doing deadlifts had the whole room spinning. And so I went into the Open with kind of having just gotten back into training after that. The following year, I'd had 2 chest infections at the same time leading up to the Open. And because of that, it'd taken a long time for them to figure out there were 2 chest infections, because they realized I had a chest infection and they treated it and I didn't get any better. And it just kept going. And I was like, and then I went back and they're like, oh, now that one's gone, we can hear the second one. So it was an upper and a lower and blah, blah. So I went into the Open again, having like only just been able to breathe again for the first time in weeks. But this year, either I'm going to be in great shape or I'm going to have injured myself.
I feel like that's how it is for me every Open. Every Open since I have started doing the Open, I have never been able to actually finish the Open because I have injured myself every single time. Yes.
All right. We should compare scores then. That's good.
Yeah, it has been not good. It's like every year.
Yeah. And then I have the thing where people are like, I remember talking to people in the past and they were like, well, I'm training really hard now. And then in a few years, I'm going to be a masters athlete. And that's when I'm going to leave my mark and maybe, try and make it as a masters athlete.
Yeah.
This
and
year
I'm like,
for me.
Yeah.
Joshua I'm like, gets to enter the chat this year. The masters chat.
So, am I going to be? No, I think I'll still be in the same one this year, because I'm trying to think how they do it. They do it based on when you change.
Yeah, it's the year that you turn.
Yeah, what year the games are, and then like what age you'll be that year.
Yeah.
So like
right. Year. So, because I all I look at is who's in my masters category, and I'm like, one Rich Froning, one Scott Panchek. I'm like, I don't think I've got much hope anyway, so it's fine. But I'll be aging up into my second masters category soon enough. So I'm an old man.
Just a war of attrition now.
Yep.
Now you just gotta stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
That's the hard part. Right. I'm gonna let you guys go, because I know that you have class coming up soon at your fancy shiny new facility, which I can't wait to drop in on.
Come on then.
Yeah. So
we got a spare bedroom for you. Casa de Newell.
If we can organize a double header not too far from where you guys are, so I can just kind of tie all of these things together, that will be like perfect. So
absolutely.
Shay, use your talking to the universe powers and get that all.
I'll use my magical powers.
Wonderful. All right, wonderful. Well, I've already mentioned what's coming up. And also obviously the one we're all really waiting for is me and Matt Hornaday getting into it and talking about the future of the Breakers, because he did say, just tell me when, somewhere earlier in the chat. So there we are. Let me know when you're ready to chat about it. So
there we go.
We've all seen it. Excellent. Well, thank you again, Josh, Shay. All the best with building the Grid League mecha that you're planning on constructor. And before that, you've got, as we said, barbells for boobs on Saturday. You've got a lot of other stuff going on. And ultimately just helping the people in your community to get a little bit fitter. So thank you for that. Thank you, everyone. And
thank you.
we'll be back soon at some point. Who knows when.